Hello everyone. Am I audible? Sure. Hi. So good morning. And we're about to start the webinar. And since we have less participants, but actually, I think we are trying to get in touch with them. So it will take a bit of more time for them to join. So in the in the meantime, let's take a kick start with the webinar itself. I think we have Mr. Kansha and Mr. Praveen in the call. So thank you so much for joining the webinar. So to start off with, I think kind of a different topic that we're looking at. So streamlining construction operations with AI. So two different domains. AI is more tech savvy, and construction is kind of, I think it's non-technical, but it's something really interesting about this topic is like how we are going to blend each together, and what are the common aspects that we can looking to where we can apply AI and related technologies into construction related use cases. So, without further ado, I'll take you through today's journey of our webinar. So, it's a very simple framework that we are looking at. So, we'll be starting with a recognition point where the reality of construction operations are there in the present times, and how we can reframe it, and from a rebuilding standpoint where actually AI can deliver value in construction industry, and we'll be moving into the framework where we showcase to the practical path way of getting started with AI. And the next step is where we're going to guide you through the complementary diagnostic sessions to all our attendees, where they can schedule a quick call with us, and where we can identify the business context, and where we can see exactly where I can deliver value. So I hope the webinar journey, the agenda is quite clear for you all. So if everything is okay, let me just take a quick start with our first slide, which is the destination. So, since I think majority of these kind of sessions start with a problem statement, but here we are starting from outcome, because whatever the problems or whatever the solutions that we are looking into, there has to be a kind of a possible outcome of each solution or tool that we are implementing or that we are suggesting. So the outcome is basically I have derived in four aspects. I will start with billing. So, at the end of this webinar, at the end of this webinar, or when we start engaging with us through a consultation framework, so the outcomes will be more into you will have a kind of a overall view how project and financial performances can be automated using AI. So from a billing perspective, from a cash flow perspective, from a risk, and if you say like reconciliation perspectives, you will get to see what sort of a solution, what sort of a practical approach that we would suggest for y'all when it comes to the bottlenecks that that the construction industry is currently facing. So you will get to see how the cash flow forecasting or BOM reconciliations can be done using AI, and how all these invoices and billing related pain points can be resolved using AI. And from a risk perspective, the visibility is something that most of the construction firms have in common. So you will get a proper understanding of how this visibility can be implemented using AI. And last one is actually yes, there's no surprise, because continuous alignment replaces the monthly crunch. Because I know, like, as per my understanding, the construction industry is getting kind of really struggling at the month ends, where they want to do go through all the projects, the bombs, and all the billings, and everything is there. So we'll be talking about each and every use case, each and every point, pain point in detail in the upcoming slides. So since I talk about the outcome, like let's come into the problem. What's the reality of construction industry? So this is a kind of a very kind of a very high level kind of a storytelling where you might feel it's kind of very familiar, might sound familiar for you all because if we take from a contract execution, compliance, invoicing, like as I mentioned you before, so all these aspects that we're looking into has kind of a very, I would say, some things are running in manual, and you have to chase behind project managers, behind quantity surveyors, and like it's all about chasing and doing iterative manual work again and again. So this is a kind of a particular scenario, kind of a real scenario that the most of the construction organizations are facing at the month end. So you can just have a look and see whether actually this is kind of sounding familiar for you all because if I just go through this one, you can see like if it is the last week of the month, the QS team is chasing the subcontractors for updated progress claims, and maybe like two have sent figures that do not match the BOQ line items. Finance is waiting before they can close the period. The project director is in the board meeting being asked about billing versus execution status, and simply the answer is like, "I will get back to you." So Mr. Praveen and Mr. Kanchana, I hope like this is a kind of very similar scenarios can be there inside the organizations as well. So when it comes to the below part of it, if you just go to a contract perspective, like there can be like this is what we agree, locked in documents, but nobody inquires about it. And when it comes to execution, like what's actually done in the site, um, like it's not getting tracked in a proper way, right? When it comes to compliance, like what's been checked, and those are managed in inboxes. Like there's no kind of a uh, proper place, like kind of a consolidated view for you to look into at everything at one place. And when it comes to invoicing, what gets billed and what's getting reconciled at the month end, at the month end. So there are like different broken links in between, right? So maybe like execution to compliance, compliance to invoicing, contract to invoicing. So there can be different links and different workflows that are within each and every process. But when it comes to month end, we can see like all these processes are broken and there's no link, and even you all are struggling to reach out like whom should I reach and whom should I get the update from. So these things are very common and this is very familiar scenarios that when it comes to construction industry. So my next point is like the problem is there, but the real question comes when it comes to what actually it costs. So if you take about cash flows, right? A single misaligned progress claim can delay cash flow by 3 to 4 weeks. Of course, yes. So if we take about from subcontractors and everything, like this cash flow is a kind of very huge risk that each and every industry has. And late payments will definitely hit your financials for sure. And even the contractors might face delayed in payments, right? Which will definitely impact the supply chain tier and the bid inflations and 56 versus 30 kind of a payment gap days can be there, and the most critical part is over budgeting. So there can be large projects which are running up to like a certain level of budget thresholds, and but the project is getting late for months. So how can we reduce this? Like, how can we actually minimize and how can get rid of these cost implications when it comes to construction industry, and how these can be resolved using AI? These are very simple, very basic scenarios where you can automate using different kind of technologies. But since we are more purely focusing on AI, we are looking from a standpoint where these kind of manual processes, these kind of bottlenecks can be solved using AI, where the use cases that we're about to show you and the cost, the I would say the metrics which I'm showing right now are some of the things which are definitely hitting your business, which has the highest impact on your business. So, since I talk about cost implications, now you might have a question where actually AI fits and where it doesn't. So, kind of a very a broader question that I would like to answer, because some might think that AI would replace people, AI would replace processes, but it is not. AI is not going to replace your current process. AI is not going to replace a particular individual or a human. So it will always act as a top line, where the human is always kept in loop in each and every process. Whatever the things that we are going to automate using AI, the human in loop is always there. So what you can see here is, on the left hand side you can see what AI does not do, and on the right side you can see what AI can really do for your business. So, as I said, AI will not replace your content surveyor. It is not going to replace either a project director, a compliance officer, or it's not going to work on a job site, right? So, because there are, so this all is, I would say, contract relationships, and there are specific things that should be handled by a human itself. So, those things cannot be replaced by AI or not by any other technology. But when it comes to what are the things that can be replaced or can be automated using AI? Yes. Extract and structure the contracts. Of course, we can do it. Monitor obligations continuously. Yes, of course. And also validate claims automatically. Definitely, we can do it. And complex contract reviews from 4 to 6 weeks into minutes. So it's like uh, not about a replacement, but it's all about automation. And it's all about increasing efficiency and reducing manual work. And it's all about how well AI can bring uh, kind of a real, kind of a quick win to a business. So I hope this is kind of very clear to you all, like what are the things, like what sort of a point that we are going to address through this webinar. So without further detail, I'll just go to the next point, which is the use cases. Now we talk about the cost, we talk about the outcome, and we talk about the problem. And the next point is exactly where AI can deliver value in construction operations. So what you can see here is, I'll start from the very first one use case, where we are discussing about subcontractor agreement review. There can be different agreements coming in, like say contractor agreements. I'm not sure like what sort of agreements are there in construction industry, but there can be many. So for each project, you have to go through this all the agreements manually, and you have to check everything is in place. And so it's like when it comes to procurement, like you might have to go through the same contract multiple times to recheck and to review and just do the validation part manually. So how AI can help in this one is we can give you a solution where it will do the first pass review, where it will flag the missing fields, the standard clauses that are missing, and the manual review time is reduced by a certain extent. So that's one use case that where we can use AI to increase efficiency within the organization. Number two is progress claim reconciliation. When it comes to reconciliation, I know it's very hectic. It's kind of like most of the project directors and project managers are struggling to do this when it comes to doing the BOQs, the bombs and everything. So it takes hours for you to match the BOQs. You have to do the retention schedules, variation, payment delays, everything is there. So how AI can help in this is you can automate claim to BOQ matching reconciliation, and you can reduced by a certain percentage, and we'll be showing one specific solution that we have come up for this particular use case in the upcoming slides. And the next tree, I'm not going to talk much in detail, but you can see the variation on the processing, cash flow forecasting, compliance document triage. So these are very, these are some of the use cases. These are just a few that we are talking about, but there can be many use cases which we haven't even heard of. But since you all are already in the construction firms, in the construction industry, you might feel okay. So these are, apart from these use cases, we have these bottlenecks, we have these pain points, and you might have a question whether AI can give a kind of a better outcome, better solution for the bottlenecks or the pain points that you all have. So we can look into that as well. So the next slide is where we are going to show you we're going to show you three use cases, three solutions that we have developed from our end to address some of these use cases which we have discussed. So let me introduce Mr. Enrico Lisk, Director, Data and AI at ZILLIONe Technologies, who will take you through the use cases and the demonstrations that we have prepared specially for y'all to understand. He will take you to the business context, the problems that it solves, and everything. So I think it's time for me to hand it over to Enrico. So Enrico, so you can start right from here. Over to you.
First of all, thanks a lot for joining. And what we want to show here is not just how AI can deliver on a promise, but actually show you some real use cases that kind of can engage with you and relate to you, and then build on top of that. So as Sonal said, we are going to show 3 to 4 cases. And what I'll do is I will not take time on how this progress claim reconciliation is done, because you all know definitely much more than me how it's done. I'll just jump into kind of a software that we have for that uses AI. And the scenario is a very easy one. So we have just a recording here so that I don't have to go through the system. So what we do is we will take the consideration of, there is an estimate, there is a actual bomb that get used, there are variation orders that are either approved by the client or not approved by the client, and then how we do this whole compliance based reporting thing. So so far what you can see is we had the conditions that we need to kind of govern, and there are there are percentages that we can manage within the contract, like we'll say on concreting maybe a 3%, on something else maybe a 10%, different rules that you have, which is established for your whole company or for a project or different nature that you have. That's not a problem. So here what you can see is we have uploaded kind of the estimate, and we have uploaded the actuals. So the actuals can be on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, it doesn't matter. You can keep on uploading those, and then when we go and press the kind of the analyze button, it will do the analysis and come up with what your people would have anyway done manually using an Excel worksheet or with the ERP. Maybe you have custom modules defined for that. So what we'll do is we'll come up with these different KPIs, how this looks like, uh, and then we will look at the items that have been used but are not in the estimate, the cost deviations, because when you estimated it was one price and now it's another price, then of course you want to see exactly what you have used, so the confirmed ones, then the risks that we have, right? So like basically what we'll do is we'll prioritize it by high, medium, low, and if there are variations, you may have variations that are approved by the client. There might be variations that were needed to be carried out, but the client hasn't actually approved them. So there are multiple of these scenarios that you can have. This is just kind of a mock-up to show you how it's done. This is not the actual product. We'll build it actually for you based on your conditions. And then uh, Yeah, and then you can actually look at what can be billed and what cannot be billed to the client, but early without waiting for either a milestone billing or a percentage billing. Before that, it can happen. Here, what you can see is kind of the compliance related one, because even if the work is compliant, if work is completed, if the compliance is not proper, your customer is going to have problems with that. So what we'll do is we'll upload a compliance report into the system for that particular project, and then we will do an analysis of that report. So it can be based on the permits that you need to get, which you didn't get, but you started the work. You know how construction works, right? So, but then maybe safety things that you need to get done, or it could be, something has to be redone because there was a lot of movement in that area. So it can be so many things that have come, and then that also we break it down into medium, uh, high, and low kind of risks. And what we do is each time we fix something, we come and say that it is done. So if we had to get a permit, which we hadn't got before, we will come and say that is done. So by the time it comes to the billing time, what kind of things that actually the customer will agree and pay for. So this is kind of the solution that we have in terms of reconciling all the three or four sets that you have. So estimate what was used, the variation orders that were approved, variation orders that not completed, as well as from a compliance perspective, what are the compliance things that were highlighted by your teams and what was fixed, so that when you finally invoice it, you're not going to have too many complications. You know that you can predict your cash flow, you can project kind of ensure that the project is going on time. So these are some of the things that we have done, which we can kind of bring it into your organization. So let's look at another example. So obviously you have agreements with your clients, you have agreements with your subcontractors, you have agreements with maybe some of your vendors. It doesn't matter where you are, what you are doing. So I'm just taking a non-disclosure because it's a easy thing to explain than actual contract that we have. So here what we do is the whole objective is that to see that the contracts that you are doing are to the expected standard of the company, expected standard of that project, because some projects might have different kind of conditions, and how we can easily get this done. This is mainly for your legal team as well as the project team. So let's look at how it's done. So basically, in this example, it's a non-disclosure. So we have all the clauses that are mandatory that should be there, defined, as well as the document that we are going to upload. So it could have come by your contractor, by a subcontractor, by a client. It doesn't matter. It may be edition, kind of edits that came from that. So what we'll do is we'll upload both documents, the one that you want to check against and what are you checking for. And then basically, when you do that, yeah, just give it a second for it to load. And then we do the check document. Then it'll come and tell you very quickly what are the deviations from new standard contracts are. So that also we will categorize into kind of, let me just till it play. So we are looking at, sometimes there are critical missing things that we don't want to be there in a contract. So it'll tell you, okay, these are the kind of things, and it's partially kind of complete. What are the things that are in line with your standard contracts? And then if there are clause issues, it will tell you, okay, maybe on liability clauses, on clauses of, project delays, how the disputes will be resolved, how all those kind of things. So all those will be there when this analysis comes. And then through the standard clauses that you have defined that will come, you can actually get those clauses from here. And then some you'll be accepting based on kind of whatever the project or criteria that the client has. And then you can kind of get it included in your contract. So we feel that this is a very important thing to ensure that all your contracts are in order even before you start doing the actual work, so that your liabilities are mitigated, so that you can, not go into a contractual kind of a dispute while the project is going on, and have a stall on that. So this will go through these changes. You can say as accept and reject or all that particular thing. Send it to the client or send it to your contractor, and then get it back. Once you get back, again you do the process and see that before signing, the all your contractual documents are into order based on the standards and policies that have been set for you in your organization. Generally, this would take a legal team several days to analyze, but here, by providing this kind of a tool to your project people as well as the legal people, you will see that the contract comes out faster, and the contract has all the terms and conditions that you have mandated that should be there without exposing you into kind of future risk when the project is going on. So this is one of the second solutions that we wanted to show you, which is different from the other solution. But of course, these can be applied to any kind of a situation, how these AI techniques will be used. Mm. So the next thing is, I know you all will say, okay, look, while it's lovely to have, Excel or something like that, we might have situations where things are kind of handwritten, maybe a compliance report or a bomb, or an estimate. They just handwrite and they put it, and then we need to bring it into the system in kind of a digital form. So what we are trying to show you here is we understand that that's a complexity. And while I showed you that whole reconciliation based on kind of an Excel or a table input. Here is how we get it done from a actual physical document that comes, which is not data, but it's a digital document like a PDF somebody has scanned. So let's go through this. So this, what we do is we bring it in, and as you can see here, these are the kind of handwritten ones where the person has kind of edited it, and we will tell you uh, how the data is. And then what we do is we can improve the confidence level. And once we input the data in, you will see that it will you can use it to get done. So this is a kind of a handwritten one. This is the input document that we used. And if the confidence is low, it will kind of highlight, but otherwise you can get it. Only thing is like if it's like say Sinhala lettering, we have a problem, but anything with regard to quantities and stuff like that, we really don't have too much of a problem. It's kind of bringing in there. However, places that we have done this, one thing that we need to kind of remember is this is the highest risk part that AI that we are doing. So when you're betting on it, don't bet that this is the complete solution that's going to be defined, because there is so much. Even if you don't do this using AI and somebody types in the data that you want into an Excel or into a document, still that would bring kind of the value that is needed. So let me stop there on the handwritten documentation, but we understand it's a challenge, and definitely we can bring that in. Uh, So with that, those are some of the two or three things that we wanted to discuss. But there are so many other kind of automations that we have done. So one needs to mention is the exchange rate kind of thing that we have, because I know you all may be importing a lot of things. So we have kind of an exchange rate automator. We can't actually showcase all the solutions that we have in the webinar. So that is one thing that we have that may be applicable for you all, so that you all are hedging against the kind of exposure that you all have. So if you are interested in that, definitely when we have our one-on-one sessions, we can go into more details of what we can do using AI. So with that, I will hand over back to Sonali to take the next sessions. But do ask any of the questions in the chat with regard to the examples that we gave you. They are not complete solutions, but examples how we can help you to use AI to do reconciliations, automations, and predict something better. Even if it's like a bank rec, the same thing we can do. Like, your ERP says one thing, your bank says another thing. We can, bring those data into the similar to that construction bomb and actual reconciliation. We can bring it and, get the bank reconciliation done from outside. It could be when you're evaluating subcontractors, you want to evaluate three subcontractors on pricing and stuff like that. Definitely, we can bring it in there. So tell us where you feel that AI can help based on these scenarios, and then we can work with you to get that implemented for your company. Yes, Sonali.
Yeah. So I think well explained. Thanks, Enrico. I think a really good showcase of what solutions that we have. And I think I'm totally in agreement with Indigo. So what he mentioned was like when it comes to AI, so it's not just about like delivering a particular solution and trying to pitch every tool that we have, but it's all always about like what sort of value we deliver. So since we talk about 4 points, the last point comes to the roadmap. So I'm quite certain that you have the question like where can we start? So this is a practical framework that ZILLIOne always offer to our customers to get started. So since I'll be starting from the very beginning, so this is kind of a very different approach that you are looking into when it comes to the other industry focused approaches. So we are starting from a consultancy approach where we understand and identify where the quick wins are. So there can be hundred of pain points, hundred of use cases, but there can be this a set of high priority use cases that we are focusing on. So based on that, we are taking you to the blueprinting stage where we define the architecture, define the solution that would best fit to resolve that problem. And based on the solution blueprinting, you all can move into implementation. So in the implementation, we'll be delivering a fully functional solution which has been tested and validated from our technical team. And the final point is adopt and scale, where we understand how the solution uh, can be scaled and adapted within the organization. Now, the best part of this is you can enter and exit at different phases. It's not a sequential order thing that we are looking at. So if you know the quick win areas that you can automate using AI, we can simply get keep the discovery part out and we can start from the blueprinting stage. But there can be instances where you know exactly what are the pain points that you have and what the things that you have prioritized and you have come up with this, maybe like you know exactly this tool is what I want, then we can simply move into implementation. So there are different entry and exit gates in this consultancy framework. So but the pre-meeting consultation is kind of a mandatory session that we are looking at, because this is the place where we understand your business context and we get a kind of a detailed understanding about where exactly AI can deliver value. So I think the pre-meeting consultation is where we are going to start, and from that onwards, you can choose the phase that you want to enter, and we can guide you through the through this practical framework which we are showing to you right now. So I think this is kind of very clear to you all. So since we have almost spent around 35 to 40 minutes, I would like to open the floor for questions from the audience if you all have any.
What I'll do is I'll start with a common question that we have when we do these kind of webinars, like with regard to the privacy of the data or where the data is stored. So all this data is basically inside your tenant. It doesn't come into ZILLIOne or it doesn't go out of your tenant. So all your project data, your contracts, reports, everything is under completely under your purview. We don't send any data out of your tenant into any AI models or to ZILLIOne. So that's how all our solutions work, because we respect that your own intellectual property and your own data should be within your tenant. So that's one thing that I just want to start off. If you all have questions like that also, you can ask. So be rest assured that all the data is in your tenant and doesn't leave your tenant at any given time.
Hello, I'm Kanchana. Can you hear
Hi,
me?
Kanchana. Yes,
Hi.
audible. Yes.
Yeah, now what you explained here, it's a Excel-based solution, right?
It is an Excel-based one. It could be on a database also. It's not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah. So say if your estimates are in your ERP, we'll say you
Mm.
have a project and it is
Mm.
based on, milestone billing or percentage billing or whatever that you have, we can just simply read from
Even if
that
it's
one.
SQL Postgre, you can, right?
Yes, definitely we can. And then the actuals also, if you're entering in some system, that also can come, we can take it from there and do the reconciliation. Maybe last minute things, if it's not in the ERP and you want to bring it from an Excel or something like that, saying that, let's build it but put it into the ERP next, even that is fine. So we can have multiple data sources that you want coming from your ERP. It can be coming from your kind of warehousing place where you're issuing things. It doesn't matter as long as the data is available in a digital form. We can bring it in, Mr. Kanchana.
Okay, so this, I don't know whether it is relevant to this or not. So what are the products that you are offering to you? I asked this in the chat also. You said Sage and Dynamics only, right? Sage,
Yes.
you are offering the entire construction solution with Sage.
In Sage Intact, we have kind of a little bit of verticals there, but I'm not sure exactly, Mr. Kanchana, on like whether it will
Yeah,
100%
because
suit for you, but
yeah,
we can have a look at that. On
yeah,
Dynamics, what
because
we do
our
is it's
billing
kind of
process
a,
is also our billing
sorry,
process is also not straightforward because we are going with IPS and IPCs and that particular process has to be tracked. So that's why I'm interested if that Sage can cater to that. Can you anyway send me that Sage construction vertical details if you have, right?
we'll do, Mr. Kanchana. Can
Other
do.
than that, it covers the general things, right? All.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. So it covers all the general things from your inventories to projects to consultancy that you do in hours, subcontracting, all those kind of
Hmm.
things are available in that.
Is Sage customizable to a level?
It is, but it's not
Hmm.
as customizable as Dynamics.
Hmm.
Because Dynamics we've been doing for a long time and we have a lot of vertical modules on that.
Very
Yeah,
expensive. That is that I know it will be. I mean, for us, it will be a bit expensive because we have around 150 users.
okay. So one
So,
thing, Mr. Kanchal, that we do is while we keep the core ERP features in Dynamics, we can build you on a similar kind of a thing outside the system that is integrated to Dynamics, where you need to maybe on the Power Platform. So that is also one option. Like we do it for a lot of clients, like we'll say for field sales or field service people.
hmm.
We build an
What
app
is that based
that
on?
is
What is the
that's based
platform?
on the Power Platform, Mr. Kanchan. So you get that enterprise security from Microsoft. It's not like a like a custom built software that you need to host and do all that security. It comes
Hmm.
with a complete robust security of starting from your AD to all the data in the tenant and 199.9% availability, all those kind of things built into the product, but
What is
lower
the
cost.
interface for that one? That is also this cloud interface.
Yes, it's a web interface.
It's a web interface.
Yes,
Okay.
and those interfaces are very rich. Even an interface like that you can see in this framework, you can
Hmm.
bring it in that your whatever inspection, whatever a very rich interface, so that people can actually use it. It's not like your traditional ERP or CRM interfaces. It's very rich.
Oh,
We can
okay.
send you some things like that.
And Dynamics or Dynamics will be the main
Yes, so
this
for your
thing,
back
right?
office, yes, for your back office, you can have your dynamics, and then for your middle and the field level things
So
that you're doing, we can
basically,
build that.
okay. So basically, you are developing a web app in the sense based on that Dynamics information that is processed in that system. You are giving me a web application, web type, this thing, correct?
Yes, Mr. Kanchana.
Okay.
So
So all the data will be extracted from that, correct?
yes, yes, and
Okay.
any data that you need to input, like we'll say quantities that have gone or whatever, will come from that app and reside in Dynamics.
Okay. Can you send it to me with the relevant things and let me go through because I'm looking for a ERP to implement, right?
Sure.
So, but we have certain things in construction, no? That's why even the billing, I want to track the process, right? So, because we exchange payment application, then the payment confirmation comes, then our advance payment recovery system is there. So likewise, there are certain processes in construction. So if we are going for a ERP, I want to track those processes. Otherwise, if we do it manually and just giving the straightforward figures to the ERP won't do us. So that is what I'm looking for. So I want to know to what level we can get that thing from this. You get
Sure,
my
Mr.
point?
Kanchana. Yes, definitely. I completely understand your point. So, as I mentioned, we can do the pre part outside the system. So all these your pre-engagement related, sending the maybe a performer invoice, getting that
mm,
prepayment done,
mm,
and those processes we can do, and the actual invoicing and the collection we can do it in the ERP again for the next phase like that. So we can have entry and exit through these
mm,
custom solutions, but finally it
mm.
resides on the ERP kind of a thing.
Okay. So to what level AI is integrated to those systems? Now, for example, when we are raising a purchase order, right? So now in the system, like now, I think Microsoft must be having Copilot there, right?
Yes,
In
Mr.
Dynamics
Kanchan.
also.
Yes,
So
in Dynamics, even in Sage Intacct, we have Copilot.
yeah,
So
can it check for market rates and all that when we are raising a purchase order? Is it integrated to that level to carry on task?
no, Mr.
Like
Kanchan, it's
no,
more
no.
more of your internal things how to do. Like say
Mm,
your procure to pay, the automation it's available, but not
mm,
with the outside. But we can do that for you.
mm.
Not a problem. Sonali, can you just go to our website and show our exchange rate? Thing. So we will show you, we'll just try to put, so we have kind of a free solution actually that we, on a subscription where we extract all the exchange rates from the market, from the top banks, and
Mm.
we deliver it to anyone who subscribes for free of charge at around 10 o'clock in the morning. What are the exchange rates? So that what we do is very similar to you. So if there are
And that
websites
you have
that you know,
integrated into the Dynamics, right?
yes, and then so if you're on Dynamics, that exchange rate actually goes to finance, and finance
Mm,
can just post it. It can be automated also,
mm.
but mm,
So in Dynamics, can it automatically create a PO? Can the AI execute task in Dynamics?
we can we can do that.
Not everything, right? To a level
Yes. So
possible.
basically, what we do is, Mr. Kanchan, we have something called human in the loop.
Mm.
So the PO will get created automatically, and then someone needs to approve and just approve it. Then the posting onwards, again the AI can take over.
Okay. Okay.
So you
So
can
those.
have, say if it is a, say you have a particular standard vendor and the pricing has been agreed, then you can, just say,
Mm,
okay, since for the preferred vendor is there, the pricing is agreed, and if there is no price change, the PO should be issued. Or you can say above this value, it has to come to a human. Human needs to approve before placing the PO because it's a liability finally. Uh, and then destinations, all those have to be mapped, right? Because you might want it going to a particular
mm,
construction site to be delivered,
mm,
or to a warehouse that you have, so stuff like that.
mm. So when it comes to complicated things like purchase planning, right? Purchase planning, looking at the MRNs raised, material requests raised from different projects, right? And the delivery timelines and supply deadlines. Can it plan purchasing? Does it? Can we go up to that level with AI? Is it in Dynamics?
Yes, Mr. Kanchan. So basically, we have something called the planning worksheet. So the planning worksheet will look at all the open projects and the planned milestones, but it should be
Mm,
proper. Like say, if nobody's doing the planned milestones and the consumptions, then it will not work. But if you're doing that, we can
mm,
look at, what is the purchase plan. Now, in the purchase plan, some parts maybe you're prefabricating in one of your kind of maybe through a subcontractor or whatever, or through your own workshop. So some will be you will be building, some you'll be purchasing. So all those things can come, and the lead times to purchase, all those things are in the system. So it will tell you, whether it can go on time or not. Because we say you're importing something from overseas and it's going to take 2 months, and then but you want it for next week, it will say, sorry, this is from overseas. Unless you select a local one, you cannot make this purchase on time. So to that level, we can go on the planning worksheets. And the planning worksheet is not only for one project. You can, select the projects that you want to do it, and there if you have preferred vendors, automatic PO creation, all those things can happen.
understood. Understood. Please
So
share me the details for that one.
can do this expansion, and we'll definitely come and meet you on that. Can show it on
Okay. Mm,
the website. So if you look at the website that we have, so this is actually information extracted from the banks. We
mm,
do it on a daily basis. So if you all have suppliers or something like that who has this published,
mm.
or some kind of a association that's publishing, we can extract from that, and then bring that into your ERP or any place that you want. So this is something like that. Just this is example, and if you like to see how this is working, you can actually just put your name and email address, and daily you'll get an email on what are the buying and selling rates for the USD. If you all want other currencies, let us know that we can do on a different way. But definitely, this is how we showcase, what we extract from people. So the updated times, everything is there. Even central bank is there. Most people have problem extracting from central bank. But then, with this, you can see, go down. So the history also we maintain. You can actually see what are the buying, selling rates for the different.
This Microsoft Dynamics, with which banks have you integrated with?
That Mr. Ranjan,
Transactions and
we
authorizations
have
and
a few banks. I can't actually on top of my mind. So we have a product called OneHub, and that is not only for Dynamics. It's a central product that we have that integrates with Sage, Dynamics, and even if a custom ERP you have, or it can be Oracle, IFS, whatever. We can do the automation on that, like all your payments and everything. We can automate
basically, I'm
using
not
that.
asking. Yeah, I want to know this that part also important to me now. Say we create around say 200 payments for a day, right? So if what level to you have certain banks have certain I know levels. So whether you all have integrated to what banks Dynamics has been integrated into,
Can be,
right?
Sivan. So we'll send
Or
that.
say I
We'll
prefer
send that to
Sage.
you.
Sage is not possible. No, you said I have to for my requirement. Dynamics is the one, correct?
Yes, Mr. Kanchana. Otherwise, like say, if you're going with this, the solutions that we are offering and using Sage only as your ERP for the backend, then it's fine. But if you want, like planning worksheets and everything that I discussed, then you need to go to an ERP like Dynamics.
So those things you can't get it done with Excel and give it to Sage or something, some solution like that you can't give.
We can build it out and bring it in. So we'll say we build the planning worksheet out. It will tell you, okay, these are the suppliers and this is what you need to purchase. That we can import into Sage as the purchase order creation. That definitely we can do.
Okay,
But
okay.
if you have not purchased an ERP, then better to have kind of your long-term 3 to 5 year view and then invest in
No,
a
we don't
very
have, but we have some in-house things done,
right.
right? So in-house things done. That's why, but I want to go for a new one.
So, Ms. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll probably come and meet you with, we'll send you all the details and meet with you and then try to see what is the kind of best solution that we can align for you.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, Mr. Kanchana.
Thank you very much. Okay, bye.
Any other questions?
No, that's all. That's all.
Good.
Okay, no, thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay, then we can exit, right? Done, no?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Thank you so much.